Today we are going to try to catch as many bass as possible with the crawler. The reason I am doing this is to showcase how to use this lure, and I just also like to catch a ton of fish. So let's try to maybe just how I usually like to do it is places like this I can kind of infer that it would be good for a crawler, because this is the type of spot where you'd have bugs crawling along the surface and a crawler emulates that movement. So we are going to go ahead and try it here. We are going to walk it along these weed beds, and I am going to show you guys exactly how to do that. So let's get started. You know, accuracy is a big thing here with the weed beds, and making sure I don't get this hung up on anything. So just some movements, some twitches, experiment with how to play with this thing. But this is a very good emulation of the real thing here. Lighter line, lighter rod will make you more accurate for sure. So just to give some tips and tricks on how to fish this thing, I'm using 12-pound braid, and I am just using a clip just for easier attachment, and I am using a medium rod. Not the best cast, but let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna lift that out. That is going to tangle my thing a little bit. Got that straightened out, but I don't want to get it bunched up on any. Okay, looks like, all right, there we go. Oh, there's a little bass. Oh, he hit it. Might be a little too big for him, even though this is a very small lure. I've caught bluegill on this thing. Oh, I hit that tree head on. Got that back. Haha. Yep. Always make mistakes like that. Alright, let's get this thing back up and running. Alright. Okay, I just did it again. All right, no big deal, guys. No big deal. You know, you just gotta roll with the punches. Luckily, I didn't get snagged on any of that. All right, another cast. I can usually hit this, but maybe I just need to get warmed up. Let's see. All right, not the best cast, but we could get some movement going on here. Tricky spot for topwater because of all the weeds, but definitely a good spot for topwater, because topwater I find tends to be better in shallow areas, just because logically the fish are just closer to the surface, especially in the middle of summer. These fish are they're just everywhere compared to a deeper lake. They will go into the deeper lake and they likely won't surface for any topwater, unless, you know, you happen to find them along the edge, but that's a little rare. Got some movement right there. See if I throw a topwater on top of that, see if they will hit that. Nothing. All right, I will fish along here and I will come back. Got one. Little guy hit it. He let go. He was so tiny though. I don't know if he could have held on. Hey, that was cool though. Little hit. Just to demonstrate here, just cast it and rode it right along those pieces of moss right there. Just completely, you know, they're just hiding right under there. So that is a good way to get a hit. Let me demonstrate that one more time. So cast out. Cast it a little bit further than where the weed bed is because they sometimes will get startled. So sometimes I like to cast it further out, not right next to it, and then just simply reel towards it. I like to go at a medium pace with the crazy crawler, and sometimes it does help to pause. Sometimes they'll run up and grab it, but it's also good to just experiment and just reel the whole way through. So yeah, that was a great demonstration of it in effect. Oh, there's a carp right there. And I seem to be stuck on a log. I will... Alright, just to demonstrate that again. Here is a weed bed, for example. Cast out. Reel next to the weed bed at a medium length. At medium speed. In these type of environments, maybe a frog would be better, but I don't recommend really using a frog because the hook, it's just so hard to get a hook set with them unless you're using very heavy gear. I prefer these type of top waters, and yeah, you're going to deal with having to get rid of some of the moss off of your lure, but I think it's well worth it for having honestly a superior lure. So that was a good hit. Let's see if we can get any more. Another thing that is very helpful is if you cast out, bring it towards here, bring it towards the edge of a bed of moss and just let it sit there. Sometimes a bass that's right under here will ambush it and grab it. So just keeping it right along the edge here and just letting it sit, sometimes you can get a hit out of that. Let us continue on. Got one. There's a little bass. Definitely gonna need the pliers for this. He smacked that instantly. Hey, well, we got one. A tiny little baby bass absolutely hammered that whopper plopper. I just threw it, or not a whopper plopper, the crazy crawler. I just threw it straight across the water and just got lucky. Sometimes you just want to fling it and see what happens. Sometimes there's just some bass just sitting out in the open too. Don't sleep on that. Yes, they're more likely to be around cover, but as you can see, you can definitely catch some just out in the open water. So don't hesitate to give it a try when the cover isn't working. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this guy back in, and we're gonna wrap this up soon. I'm gonna see if I can catch one more, and then that is about it. That is going to do it for me. It was a fun time with the Hedon mini crawler. In summary, you want to use this lure in areas that does seem kind of swampy, kind of, you know, looks like it has a lot of insects. You know, the crawling motion of this lure is excellent at mimicking their natural forage for these bass. And you just want to run it along weed beds like this, find deep holes like that. In general, run it along those beds, and you should be able to get a bass. Just use medium retrieve, use pauses, and sometimes some fast moving action can work too if you're starting to just reel super fast. And yeah, overall pretty easy lure to use, pretty fun if you don't want to use a whopper plopper. This is a good alternative. I really like how the movement kind of mimics a bug crawling along the surface. And yeah, that is about it, guys. I will catch you guys in the next part of our story. Thank you for watching. Bye.